Happy Draft Day, Commanders fans. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're going to be going over the last-minute Commanders draft rumors, getting you guys ready for night one of the 2024 NFL Draft. I'll be talking about Jayden Daniels and his comments about potentially being picked number 2 overall by the Washington Commanders. Looks like he's pretty okay with being a part of the burgundy and gold. And then I'll go over some potential trade ideas that could be coming tonight. I definitely think the Commanders could be busy outside of that number 2 pick at the top of the draft today. They might be trading back in. They might trade for a player even. We'll go over the possibilities on today's show. But before we get into it, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you know when we go live right here on the Commanders Report during the NFL Draft. I'm also going to be on Chat Sports' main kind of coverage, so you guys can check that out tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, where me and Tom Downey, we're going to be breaking it all down for you guys 2 hours before the first pick is made. And then about 30 minutes before the draft starts, we're going to be hopping on live right here on the Commanders Report, where we're going to be reacting live to whoever the Washington Commanders end up taking at number 2 overall. So make sure you click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, not only here on the Commanders Report, but also on Chat Sports Main on YouTube. So now let's get into here with the rumors regarding Jayden Daniels. And Jayden Daniels is expected to be the pick at number 2 tonight. And Daniels talked to the media a couple days ago, and he talked about and he addressed the rumors that he doesn't want to play for the Washington Commanders. Someone straight up asked him, do you want to be a part of the Washington Commanders? And he said, yeah, 100%. I'm blessed to go wherever I'm called. Whoever calls my phone, when the commissioner gets up and says my name, I'll be blessed, and they're going to get my all. And that's exactly what you want to hear from Jayden Daniels. Probably going to be the pick here tonight, guys. I do think that he is the right choice. I think he brings the right balance of superstar potential at the quarterback position with NFL readiness. He reads the field really well, throws with great touch on his deep ball. Of course, he's a dynamic playmaker with his legs outside of structure. So I really love what Jayden Daniels brings to the table. I think he's got a relatively high floor, and I think he has a really high ceiling. I compare him to Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens, and he's even a little bit taller, and he's a better prospect than Lamar was when he was coming out of college, so I think the Commanders could be getting a potential superstar in the LSU product tonight. Now let me know down there in the comments section, who's going to be the pick? Is it going to be Jayden Daniels, type JD? Do you think Drake Maye is still in play, type DM if you want the Tar Heel quarterback? Or do you think J.J. McCarthy could really shock the world and be the number 2 pick tonight? Type JJ if you think it's going to be McCarthy. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. So now let's talk about the possibility of trading up or trading for a player when it comes to the Washington Commanders tonight, because there are some players it looks like that are on the trade block that the Commanders could take advantage of here. And let's start with Trey Hendrickson, edge rusher out of Cincinnati. He had 17 sacks last year, guys. So he's one of the more underrated edge rushers in football, in my opinion. I think he's a great fit for what Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. want to do here in Washington. And he would be a bona fide number 1 option at the edge rusher position, which is something the Commanders still desperately need. And I think if you could offer the Bengals the number 40 overall pick, I think that's something they would absolutely take in exchange for Trey Hendrickson, because he did request a trade yesterday, and, that's kind of short notice. They might be trying to move him here. Of course, T. Higgins has also requested a trade, so the Bengals might be pretty busy in terms of trades this weekend if they can get the right capital in exchange for these players. Then another player that could be in the works for Washington is Brandon Ayuk, who of course is a former teammate of Jayden Daniels. They worked out this offseason together. They're really good buds, and I really do think that Ayuk would love to play with Jayden Daniels in the National Football League. And right now, it's looking like San Francisco might be willing to deal Ayuk at some point during this year's NFL Draft. Now, what I would offer for for Ayuk. I'm not going to give up a first-round pick, but I'll give up that number 36 overall pick right at the top at round 2, and then I'll give up the first third-round pick that this team has this year at number 68. I think that's fair value for Brandon Ayuk, and of course the Commanders are going to have to pay Brandon a giant contract here because he is a second-team All-Pro. He's looking to get paid upwards of $25 million, and with Amon-Ra St. Brown getting $30 million per season yesterday with the Detroit Lions, his price tag might have just gone up. So this is the price that I'd be willing to pay if I'm Commanders GM Adam Peters. Now, I don't think a player trade happens for the Washington Commanders tonight. Now, would I be absolutely stunned? No. I think that both of these players kind of make sense in terms of what the Commanders are looking for, but I do think it's probably more likely that a trade-up scenario in round 1 to take another rookie is probably more likely for the Washington Commanders tonight. So coming up on the show here, once we get past our sponsor break here, I'm going to be giving you guys my top trade-up ideas for this football team heading into round 1. But before we get into that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Guys, I'm somebody that likes to get tickets last minute to events. I'm not somebody that likes to plan things in advance, and Game Time rewards people like me that like to go last minute with flash deals right before the event, so you get even lower prices. And by the way, the prices on Game Time, already the lowest price guaranteed, so you don't have to go shopping around on all these different ticketing apps. We know how time consuming and monotonous that can get with Game Time. You know you're getting the lowest price to any ticket to any event, and I'm talking about concerts, I'm talking about music festivals, I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about music, comedy, theater. They've got it all on Game Time, and right now, you can check it out right now. Game Time is the fastest growing ticketing app in the United States of America and is the only ticketing app on the market today that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy the tickets so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive at the concert venue, the theater, the sports arena, whatever the case may be. And tickets are also sent directly to your phone instead of your email, another great feature that makes Game Time the best ticketing app on the market today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time now by downloading the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, right down there in the bottom of your screen for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So now let's go over some potential ideas that I have for the Washington Commanders to maybe trade up back inside the first round, because we know they're going to take a quarterback at number 2, whether that's Daniels or Maye or McCarthy, whoever they end up taking, it's going to be a quarterback. They're not moving. But they have lots of draft capital this year to use to potentially trade back into round 1 to take a top offensive tackle or edge rusher, 2 of some of their other biggest needs on this roster. So if they want to move up pretty darn high here, I think you can give up pick number 36 and pick number 40 to the Seattle Seahawks, who are looking for interior offensive line help. I don't think they would want to take an interior offensive lineman at number 16. They get an additional pick here right at the start at round 2. And if you're the Washington Commanders, if you're getting in there at number 16, there's going to be some really good players probably available here. Out of this list of 6, there's probably going to be a handful of guys that you really like that you could choose from, like Joe Alt from Notre Dame, probably not going to be here at 16, right? Alou Fashanu out of Penn State, I think will probably be off the board at this point, but he would be a premium pickup at number 16 if he falls this far. Same thing with Troy Fontenot out of Washington. Laiatu Latu is my number 1 edge rusher target for the Washington Commanders. I took him in my latest mock draft for the Washington Commanders, currently on the channel, by the way, if you want to check that out. And then Dallas Turner and Jared Verse, I'd be perfectly fine with at this spot as well. Now, the other trade-up scenario is actually with the San Francisco 49ers, and if they don't feel compelled to take a player at number 31, and at that point, I'm not sure if there's going to be any player that really sticks out to the 49ers that they have to have at that spot. You could trade pick number 36 and then give San Francisco their pretty much the compensatory pick back, number 100 that the Commanders got in the Chase Young trade, give that back to the 49ers. In exchange, you can move up to number 31, and you can take a guy like Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, somebody that I think is ready to be a day one starting left tackle in the National Football League. The Commanders need one of those because I just don't trust Cornelius Lucas to be that guy for this team moving forward. Or you could get an edge rusher like a Chop Robinson who should still be there in the later portion of the first round. Robinson is coming from Penn State, and Dan Quinn has a pretty good history with these edge rushers from Penn State that were raw coming out of college, right? So I feel like Chop Robinson is somebody that's going to be on the Commanders' radar because I know Dan Quinn loves the pedigree of those Nittany Lions. Now get yourself ready down there in the comment section for tonight's NFL draft action. Of course, we're going to be going live, but if you want to get yourselves ready right now, you can check out my final NFL mock draft right now on my X account. I am at Jack_Sperry. I'm going to be posting updates throughout the night. I also have a bunch of different tidbits and different storylines for you guys to watch out for in my mock draft post. So you can check that out right now if you haven't already at Jack_Sperry. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now, guys. It's going to be a historic night for the Washington Commanders football franchise. A new era is going to begin once they take their next quarterback of the future at number 2 overall. Can't wait to share with you guys tonight, so make sure you click that subscribe button and join us about 30 minutes before the draft starts, where we're going to be covering a really historic night in the history of this franchise. Don't miss it. Click that subscribe button, and until tonight, hail to the Commanders.